Hi, this is Sherry for The Confident Mother. So I just thought I'd quickly update you and see how you're getting on with the interview so far. So this morning to launch us, we had Mel Noakes, who's brilliant, talking about self-care and some fabulous tips in there. And I know lots of you have been and looked at that particular interview. And then at lunchtime we had Amanda Moss, and I know some of you have already said you're going to go and use the tips, particularly around naps. And in fact, sleep deprivation is such a killer, isn't it? And some of the women that I was working with this morning at the Royal College of Physicians, a lot of them had young children, a 7-month-old baby and an 18-month-old child. So I know that they were looking forward to that interview too. And then this evening, Emily talking about how to get a reconnected life, which Emily works with women who have experienced rape and helps them get from just kind of surviving to really living a full and reconnected life again. Now you might think, where does rape fit into balancing work and life? And maybe it doesn't quite in the same way as some of the other speakers, but Emily's on such a powerful mission, and something that's really important, I think, that as women we shouldn't be made to feel helpless or powerless. And I think what Emily's doing is really incredible, and I love what she's doing. So tomorrow then we've got two fabulous speakers. I'm just checking my notes here, Elizabeth Tuhig, who is she's the speech sculptor. Elizabeth is brilliant. I've worked with her myself. She's really fabulous at helping you to turn your speech into a treat. So she works with people who are either planning to give a big presentation, perhaps at a conference, or if you need to speak on a regular basis at client meetings, or you need to give presentations to the board, that sort of thing. And her, what I got out of her interviews, she has this treat process that she uses to allow you to kind of develop and refine your speaking skills and presentation skills. And she's been great. I've worked with her to kind of feel not more confident on stage, because I'm actually quite happy to get up on stage, but to just deliver it in a way that's going to have the biggest impact, and to think about the detail of what I'm saying and how I'm using my language. So that's really good. So you'll love that one. And then in the evening, particularly for those of you that work in a law firm, Hannah is a lawyer herself, and her business is called Authentically Speaking. And we talked about, can you ever really balance the scales, and particularly if you work in a law firm, or if you're a lawyer working in a law firm as well. And that was a really interesting interview. Hannah was telling us about what life is like as a lawyer, and if anybody listening who's worked in a law firm, oh my goodness, do lawyers work long hours? One of the other people that I interviewed for the conference, Caroline Flanagan, used to work in a law firm as well, and she worked for one of the big law firms. And their idea of part-time hours, when she requested part-time hours and therefore went down to 80% of her salary, so she was still working 9 till 5, and that was their version of part-time, because with lawyers it's all about the billable hours. So and Hannah was talking how being a lawyer and being part of a law firm is such a big part of your identity, and often as women, as mothers, we kind of lose some of that sense of self, some of that sense of identity. And sometimes we have to kind of re-find that, particularly while we're on maternity leave. So she shared some tips with us and about taking responsibility for the life that you want. And her biggest tip was about making time for yourself every day. So that's a really interesting one as well. And then, so we've got lots of lovely speakers throughout the next 2 weeks. I hope you're going to be dialing in and listening to some of the sessions. Technology being my background, of course, I managed to make a technology boo-boo this morning, and the email with all the links didn't go out at quite the right time. I'm so used to working on Chicago time zone, and actually the honest truth is I put PM instead of AM, so of course not much good sending you out links for an interview at 10 AM, sending that out at 8:15 PM, but I shall be double checking that tomorrow when I send you the links. So if you didn't get the email, then that probably means you're not actually registered for the conference. So if you go to theconfidentmother.co.uk, click on the conference tab, and then you can register for the conference. And when you do register, you'll get access to the workbook, and you'll also be automatically entered into the prize draw to win a place on my career confidence course, which will be starting in a couple of weeks' time. So hopefully that was useful to hear about the highlights from for tomorrow, and check back in tomorrow evening. I will be doing a Facebook Live quite late tomorrow evening because I'm actually running a workshop in the evening and I won't get home till quite late. So depending on how tired I am, I may pop on and do a quick Facebook Live to see what you thought of the interviews for tomorrow. So talk to you then. Take care.